Hello and welcome to a new Warhammer series. So I'm going to continue playing the Von Carstein and Malekith campaigns, but since those are both pretty late game, I decided to start a new campaign and record videos for that as well. And I couldn't think of a new set of like self-imposed restrictions past the stuff I already tried that would be like both fun and doable. So I decided to go back to This is Total War campaign, the same rules basically as the Arkan, the Black campaign, where I have to declare war on everyone and can't make peace treaties, basically us against the world. But instead of playing as one of the new and shiny and overpowered factions that they love to introduce in this game, I decided I would make things interesting by playing as a faction I kind of enjoy but is just not good. One of the weakest factions in the game, I think. Throgg and Wintertooth. So partly the issue is Norskans in general have problems, particularly when you try and actually win the campaign, because they can't take that much territory. You know, they can't occupy settlements that weren't Norscan to start with, except for major faction capitals. And their economy and unit roster are just not great in general. They've got some good units, but there's a lot of crap in there as well. And yeah, it's kind of compounded by Throgg just being a lot worse than Wulfric, who's the other Norscan lord. So yeah, decided I'd give this a try, see what happens. So I haven't actually played Norsca since they did the new Chaos rework, and I notice I'm not getting an option to set the difficulty of the Chaos invasion, which is kind of interesting because I'm going to be fighting against Chaos when they show up rather than joining them. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the campaign started. I have to admit, despite just those complaints about Norsca and Throgg, and I'm sure I'll be complaining a lot more about these things going into the campaign, but despite that, I do kind of like Throgg. He's just, lovable is not the word, but yeah, he's just kind of a fun character. I'm glad he's in the game. And early on at least, he is a decent fighter. Certainly not near the top, but being a troll, having regeneration, lots of hit points, his vomit attack, like, those are all pretty solid.
Hail, Throgg,
Alright,
King of
we're not going to listen to that dude.
the harsh and desolate wastes
Yeah.
of North.
Okay, so this is the main sort of quest line here, is to build up allegiance of any god, which you get from raising settlements, and that's what actually controls the timing of the Chaos Invasion, because you basically join up with one of the 4 Chaos Guards, fight off the champions of the other 3, and that's when Archaon and Chaos shows up. But we're not going to worry about that right now. So here we are, we start in Winterpire on the sort of northern side of Norsca, and I'm going to briefly talk about what's going on here, what the plan is. The plan in the short term is to not lose, and that's not going to be trivial, because we have to. We don't actually have a crazy number of diplomatic contacts at the beginning, but obviously we are going to war with all of them. Long term, I am planning to try and achieve a short campaign victory. So that involves these conditions. This is a little less restrictive than lots of the other factions. You don't actually have to hold that much territory. You do have to complete the quest line with level 3 allegiance with one of the guards, defeat the champions of the other guards, destroy these factions, and this is the big one, destroying Reichland. That is not going to be straightforward or easy. And then, yeah, hold these territories, and then this last condition about total of these units, and 40 units in total is just a whatever thing. But this is the eventual goal, is to wipe out these factions, and as I say, Reichland is going to be the limitation almost for sure. But in the short term, we have to not die, we start the game at war with these dudes, the Naglfarglings, or yeah, Naglfarlings, sorry. Stuck an extra G in there. So they have troops here. You can see military presence 3, so they start with 6 or 7 units, and they're going to basically build a stack and come attack us. And that happens on legendary difficulty, even aside from the whole Total War campaign thing. So we more or less need to make as strong an army as we can in the first few turns to hold off their attack. But we've also got the Dwarves here, who would not normally be someone we'd be looking to go to war with, but per the Total War campaign rules, I mean, yeah, they're at yellow for a non-aggression pact even. But per the conditions, we have to declare war on them. So they're fighting. They actually do start at war with Clan Moulder. So what I expect to happen here is Clan Moulder to actually attack and take their territory, and that'll put us in diplomatic contact with Clan Moulder. But one nice thing is, even though I can see Hell Pit, like on the map here, I'm not actually in contact with the with Clan Moulder yet, so I don't have to declare war on them, and that's good because of all these enemies right at the beginning. The Skaven are by far the worst to deal with. I don't have any heroes. I don't have any way to get heroes for a while, and the heroes are so important for trying to scout the Skaven, make sure you're not getting ambushed by their armies and so on. Dwarves are problematic to fight too, but yeah, we just kind of cross our fingers that we don't have to end up fighting the Skaven right away. Okay, so on to the other Norscan tribes. We've got the these guys, the Madney tribe. So they don't start at war with anyone. That's too bad because for sure they're gonna send stacks against us since we're now their only enemy. We do get some notice because yeah, line of sight here is a little weird. We have this Winter Pie, which is a port, so we actually have line of sight of this port too. So we can actually see them building up this army and sending it off, you know, to come get us basically. So that's good. And I hope that this faction ends up fighting Kislev. But yeah, realistically they're going to be fighting us at the beginning. Okay, now there's also the Varg, who are one of the strongest Norsca factions to start with. And in some games, the Varg actually kind of go crazy and take over the whole of Norsca, just depending on exactly how things play out. So they're another faction that I would not normally want to go to war with at all, but the rules are the rules. So yeah, we'll just have to see. I'm not actually sure where their army starts. Maybe over this way. No, I guess not. We might get some warning of them showing up. I don't think they're going to attack us right at the beginning, though. Once again, they have no other enemies, so we'll just have to see. All right, and then there's the World Walkers, which is the other major faction in Norsca. They only start with one settlement. They start at war with 3 other factions, so you know that's kind of good. I don't think they'll be one of our main enemies immediately. It'd be great to confederate Wulfric. So even though this is a Total War campaign, I am allowing confederation because it doesn't really violate the Total War rules, right? When you confederate someone, you irreversibly incorporate all their stuff into your faction. And yeah, so just to go over how the confederation works with Norsca, if you defeat the leader of an enemy faction, so when we beat this dude, Lamont Dahl,
prepare to be ripped to shreds.
We have the option of basically forcing him to swear fealty to us, and all his faction will join us, including his settlements and his territory, so the normal confederation. But it's an automatic confederation if we beat his army. It doesn't matter what his what the diplomacy score is. So Norsca and I think the Greenskins have a similar mechanic to this now. So in principle that lets us take large chunks of Norsca really quickly if we just go out and fight the leaders of the enemy Norscan factions. But thinking back to the Aachen campaign, like one of the big problems is coming into contact with too many enemy factions at once. And so I'm not sure I will actually be taking those confederations, even if I can beat, the guy who leads this faction, Lamont Dahl, the leader of the Varg. We'll just have to see how we go. Alright, so we've declared war on everyone we can. Let's go look at Winterpire and build some soldiers. So Winterpire is a minor settlement. It also has a port, which makes a little income and growth, but it's pretty lackluster. It's just sort of sitting here taking a building slot. We do at least have the settlement at tier 2, which is something. And we have this barracks building. So in terms of building troops, I'm just going to have Throgg stand right by Winterpire and recruit some troops. So unit-wise, we start with a unit of Norsken Ice Trolls, which are one of Throgg's special units, or units that he boosts. No, I'm sorry, it's actually from the faction effect. Yeah, so physical resistance up and upkeep down. So the Ice Trolls are decent units. The regular Trolls are not. The leadership's very low, which is a big problem, and they just don't fight particularly well. So I don't want to keep these in the army long term, but at the beginning, of course, we're just stuck with what we've got. I'm not disbanding anything. These Norsken Warhounds are fast and kind of okay for running units down, but very weak at fighting, particularly on the very hard battle difficulty. They just can't take on any... they probably can't even take on enemy missile units one-on-one, certainly not like Dwarven Crossbowmen or whatever. So this is another unit that I'd like to replace with something that just is more effective. Norsken Ice Wolves are a slightly higher tier version of the Warhounds. They have better stats, even though there's only 48 of them compared to 80. You can see that in total they still have more hit points on the unit. They have better leadership, and yeah, they have the frostbite ability. They're not much better, honestly, but I'll probably keep them around for longer, just because it is useful to have a fast unit to run down fleeing enemies, to sort of harass units at the beginning of battles, and so forth. Right, and then we just have the two vanilla Marauder units, which are really mediocre. They just don't fight very well. They're not going to hold their own against anything on this difficulty. So it's another unit where, like, they're just here until I can get something better. So speaking of which, these are units we can recruit off the bat. Don't want more Marauders. Marauder Spearmen are a little better, but, I mean, again, they just suffer from the melee infantry issue on the high difficulties, where they just don't trade with enemy units one for one, basically. And that being the case, like, you can't really justify recruiting them, I think. So I'm going to go for these Marauder Hunters. I actually quite like this unit. They're only a tier 1 unit, but their damage output is solid. They're not good at fighting, but neither are the regular Marauders. They're a bit more expensive, but that's fine. And yeah, I actually am going to have... They're going to be the basis of my army in the foreseeable future. So my plan is essentially to try and make a full stack as fast as I can while standing next to Winterpire, and I'll actually put Throgg into raiding stance here just because it makes us more money. So I'll build up these Marauder Hunters, and then the plan is to essentially use the garrison troops, which is mostly melee guys, and the melee frontline troops we start with, plus Throgg himself, as essentially like a wall in front of the missile units, and let the javelins actually do the damage in the battles. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works. And we have the option of upgrading this, and I'm not going to do that because the tier 2 Marauder Hunters are definitely do more damage. They have more armor piercing than the tier 1 Marauder Hunters, but they also have lower range, which is a really big thing because the range is already a problem for the javelins. And I'm not planning to actually... I don't really want to put the 2,000 gold in here, plus the extra money it costs to recruit them. So I'm going to keep this at tier 1. I'll probably actually demolish it once I've got it to a full stack, recruiting the javelin guys. Right, and the raiding stance. So normally you wouldn't want to raid your own territory, but what happens here is that I make so little money anyway off this province that I actually save money by raiding because it cuts my upkeep costs. So I'm getting 0 income from these two buildings, but they were getting so little anyway that, like I say, it just ends up being a net benefit. It does slightly penalize growth too, which sucks. But yeah, it is what it is. So I think that is more or less all I can do here. Our economy is going to be bad. I should say as well, I'm not particularly attached to Winterpire. There's nothing great about this settlement. What I really want is, number one... Oh, hold on a second. I screwed something up here. I have to tax the province to get the 3rd recruit slot. Okay, glad I remembered that. But right, number one, I want to build up a strong army so Throgg actually doesn't lose. Like, losing Throgg and losing the army is just instant loss in the campaign, basically. So that's got to not happen. Losing Winterpire at some point later is not such a big deal, and I probably can't avoid it. It'd be great if I could actually get to recruit some heroes. So, I especially want to be able to get up to the Chaos Shrine to get these Shaman Sorcerers, because they are really important. We don't start with any heroes, we don't start with any magic, and they can do really well for us. There's also the Skin Wolf Whack-In that can get at tier 3 from this building. That's not as high a priority, so the Whack-In are okay heroes, not great, they don't have magic, but of course, you know, I'll get them if I can, because we have hero slots, so we might as well recruit them. So yeah, would love to get to tier 3, although that's a ways away, and yeah, unfortunately need the tier 3 to get the Shaman Sorcerer going. Okay, research. I basically want to beeline for this, which is ammo and missile strength for the Marauder missile units, because I'm going to be relying on them. So we pick up some other stuff on the way that's kind of minor. Could talk about the rest of the tech tree later. And that is it, I think. Yep. So I'm going to have to constantly be checking as I discover new factions that I am indeed going to war with them. But for now we're good. I'm not gonna really try and come up with too much of a strategy in the medium term, because it just depends too much on however things go in the rest of Norsca, like who actually ends up becoming strong. You can see here on turn 1, the Dwarves actually had a settlement blown up by the Skaven. So the problem is, once the Skaven occupy that settlement, it is going to put me into diplomatic contact with them, I think. Though that hasn't happened just yet. You can also see down here, yeah, this guy's starting to recruit. And our buddy Lament Dahl, we can't see him, but his army's in Aisling's Conclave. That military presence is going to be going up as well. Yeah, so because we don't have heroes, it's especially important to just keep an eye on those troop movements, just even in the fog of war. One really annoying thing about Norskans is that their global recruitment, like the units take 5 turns to recruit, and that just is crazy. I don't know why it's 5 turns. I could understand it if they made it so it was like, you know, if your army's out of Norsca, it takes a really long time to recruit. But if you're in Norsca, I don't know why it's 5 turns. It's just, yeah, it's one of those things that just kind of screws Norsca over for no reason, kind of. In any case, we're not going to use global recruitment. Just going to keep recruiting our guys here. It's really not feasible to launch a sort of preemptive assault against this guy. I'll talk a bit more about why that is when he comes to fight us, but essentially you're just not strong enough at the beginning. So we're sort of stuck here, just building up strength. And we have encountered Clan Mulder, which is bad. But yeah, I guess that's more or less scripted to happen because they take out the Dwarven city on turn 1 and just occupy the ruins on turn 2. Okay. Hello, Clan Mulder. Yeah, see, they're not unfriendly to us at the beginning, but sadly, this is not a friendly... Yeah, this is not a campaign where we are friends with Skaven. Or anyone. So we've got enough gold coming in to sustain our army at the moment, but you can see the problem that as we build it towards a full stack, we're actually barely going to be breaking even. There's no prospects really for getting a second army of any sort going. We're going to just manage with what we've got until our income increases, which is not going to be soon. So what else is happening here? So this guy recruited 5 units, and checking the military presence here, this is up to 6, but it's across 2 settlements, so that's 12 or 13 units. So they're recruiting way faster than we can, basically, just part of the difficulty settings. But we will have a full stack by the time he can get up here, so that's good. Just looking at whether any of the other Norscan factions have taken territory, and they have not.
Slaughter truths, take what's there. Champions fall.
Alright, moving on. Okay, so crack a track of troops down here, that's fine. Much rather the Dwarves fight the Skaven and at least slow them down a bit than send troops up to us and just get completely smashed by the Skaven. And you can see here, yeah, another 4 units recruited. And down this way... Okay, so he actually recruited probably up to 17 or 18 units and just moved out. We can see that military presence is gone. So he's going to have moved up to here somewhere. This is Lamont Dahl I'm talking about, the head of the this faction, the Naglfarlings. So we've got one more turn of recruitment. I guess that doesn't quite get us to a full stack, but it's pretty close. Again, just more spearmen. Sorry, more javelin guys. He's going to have basically an all melee army, but I still think that this is the best strategy against him. Concentrated javelin fire can break early game Marauder units fairly easily, and we're in reinforcement range from the garrison, which means we get, you know, Marauder champions, Marauders great weapons, Marauder spearmen. Like, we have a bunch of melee dudes coming in to reinforce there. Okay, public order's decreasing, but that's fine. And yeah, let's have a quick check again of what we've got here. So military presence 12, so Skaven have troops in help it. What about the Varg? Don't see any troops there.
A timely arrival.
No change in territory. Okay. So once we've completed this recruitment, I can decide whether to demolish the barracks building, but I can't do that until these units are actually finished, so that's a decision for next turn. And here comes the Naglfarlings. They did not quite get into attack range, so we do manage to recruit this last 3 units. Okay, so looking at this, they've stopped outside the reinforcement range from Winterpire, which is too bad, because if I had reinforcements coming from Winterpire, I think launching this attack would make sense.
No.
So, we can't see too much of his army. They have a Frostworm, which this is the reason you can't really go attack them early, just because, yeah, with just sort of like the half-dozen units you start with, you could take out like kind of an equal number of basic Marauders, which is what most of the rest of his army is, but not the Frostworm. So I don't know why he starts with this, just random tier 5 units. It's far better than all the crap we start with. On the upside, if we beat him and confederate him, and it survives, we do get to get it. You know, basically get it into our army, which I will be trying to do. But yeah, so I could launch the attack here. I don't want to do that though, because then I don't get my reinforcements, and that's too important, I think. He is on raid stance. His units would be winded in the battle, but I don't think that's going to make too much a difference. So I'd rather actually just recruit that last Marauder Javelin, get up to the full stack, and change back to raiding stance. So yeah, you can see even off this one army, I don't have enough income to actually keep my economy going. So, yeah, the Norskens just don't make much money, sadly. And we have ways to reduce upkeep of troops a bit later, but nothing right now. Alright, well I guess the only other choice here is whether to try and do anything positioning-wise in terms of changing which angle the reinforcing armies will be coming at. So, okay, so the problem with how I have it now is that if Lamont Dahl launches the attack against Winterpire, which he can do, he's stuck. Yeah, so I mean he's kind of stuck within Throgg's zone of control, or at the edge of it at least. But he can still launch the attack against Winterpire, and in that case, my garrison will be on one side of his army, and Throgg will be on the other side, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do? Right, I have to cancel that. So yeah, what I'm going to do is actually reposition round on this other side, so that whether we attack Throgg or Winterpire, the others, like the troops that come in as reinforcements, would come from basically the same direction. So you might wonder, why would you not just put Throgg in Winterpire itself?
You're a pretender.
That is obviously a good question. But the answer is, I actually get defensive bonuses from this raiding camp stance that I can't take in the settlement itself, and I get the upkeep discount. So, for sure, it's a slightly stronger option to do this. We're losing public order, we're losing the growth I talked about, but I'm willing to sacrifice that. Yeah, and I'm not... I mean, in principle, I could switch out some other units for more javelins. We're at the point where we can't really justify getting more javelins without more frontline. Like, we're just going to have javelin guys engaged in melee and not firing anyway. So, I wouldn't want to pick up more javelineers, but additionally, I'm not willing to go below 19 units. Like, I'm not willing to disband a unit because that'll be a unit down for presumably this battle over the end turn. So I think this is all I can do. Have a quick look around again. So military presence 5, so the dwarves have troops here, and I have vision of this so I can tell they're in Cracker-Drac. Skaven have built up to 18 units in Hell Pit, and this guy is built up to 16. I think next turn this guy will start heading his army up towards us. Again, he's not at war with anyone else, so that's just what I expect him to do. No new troops being recruited here just yet.
We are both their puppets.
And yeah, no other changes in terms of territory coming or going. Yep, so Throgg is in raid stance, and I think I've positioned this about as well as I can, so let's go ahead and end the turn. Alright, well, I did not expect that. So he just bailed. Oh, I was actually sort of hoping he would attack me there. Raid the following region, Sal encampment. Where is this? That's... Why? Yes, nice of the game to give us a quest to raid. Not the territory actually next to us, but the one way over here. Yeah, grumble. Alright, so what's the plan now? He didn't get all the way back to Aisling's Conclave, but he did force march. The fact he force march means he probably doesn't have enough movement to get back here.
My ice age comes. That was
Okay.
my idea.
Let's move to here.
Out of my way.
Yeah, we can't see his army at all. Am I in reinforcements range of Winterpire? I am not. So I could raid his territory.
I can.
That actually nets us a fair amount of gold. Alternatively, I could take the opportunity to switch out troops and recruit replacements, but let's just have a look at this. How much better are Marauder Spearmen than regular Marauders?
All be slaves.
I guess I can just see the stats here at least. So, same leadership, same armor. The Spearmen don't have shields. They have lower melee attack but higher melee defense, and the bonus versus large, and lower charge bonus. So the trouble is we're not fighting against many large units, and I already have bonus versus large from my Marauder Hunters. Like, Marauder Hunters are actually good against units like the Frostworm. So the Spearmen, yeah, I just don't think it's worth, like, it's not worth the cost of switching these units out for Marauder Spearmen. So I think I'll do this. I think there's a good chance that his army comes back and is in attack range with Throgg, even though they can't get to Winterpire. But I'll grab a little extra gold, grab some experience from raiding, and if they do attack me, I can just choose to withdraw. Meanwhile, okay, he didn't actually recruit more troops, so he must be on the way out soon.
We are both their puppets, but
Yep.
the masters have sent you here.
And all quiet on
What?
the other front here. We're really at the mercy of the AI, just in terms of who decides to send troops at me. We're gonna have to take some dodgy battles. I think I sort of stand by my decision not to launch the attack against the army when it was here, though. But I may, yeah, I guess I might end up regretting that. I could recruit another lord, but that's gonna put me, yeah, that's just gonna put me too far into debt, I think. It's a nice trait, melee attack +5 for all units in the army. But yeah, I can't sustain this, right? I can barely... Yeah, I mean I can barely go for one more turn without going bankrupt if I recruit another lord. So... I think what I'll do instead is demolish this building. With the idea being that I want to get probably growth building going. Oh, that growth +10 is not fantastic. Yeah, we're still 8 turns away from even getting 1 pop surplus, and I need 2 to get to tier 3. Maybe I just build defenses here then. Go full turtle mode. Alright, I'll decide next turn. Crackerjack with troops over here. Does look like they're basically fighting the Skaven at the moment, rather than coming for us. Okay, Throgg made it to rank 2, that's good. What do we want to do at rank 2? I think we just want Root Marcher here. Yeah, we don't have enough trolls to justify this. I mean, these boosts are pretty good, but... Yeah, I think I need to get along this tree towards Lightning Strike. This is actually quite a nice ability here. Adds to the growth of the local province. Actually, 3 points into this is quite a lot better than the growth buildings. There's also this Norse Resilience for caster replenishment rate. So yeah, let's go Root March it. Now the question is, what am I doing in terms of positioning my army? So I'm making a tiny profit here, which is nice, although military presence 3. He's building up a second army. Well, that's a problem. Let me... Ah, it's so awkward not having a hero to scout with. Let me move to here. See if I can see any signs of his army. I cannot. So I think I'm going to come back here and raid them again. I don't think it's possible... Oh, if he's just out of line of sight here, maybe he does have enough movement to attack Winterpire. Yeah, that'd be kind of disastrous. Alright. I will be... Wait. Oh, I'm dumb. For some reason I thought it didn't cost movement to go into raiding camp stance, but I guess it does. I must have been mixed up with the greenskins. Yeah, okay. Well, not ideal. I guess I can raid, which gets most of that back. What am I trying to do here then? So, this gives me more money, but that doesn't help enough. Like, an extra 200 income, I mean, what does that do? This is extra growth. I do need to get up to tier 3. This is a building I do want, but only once I'm at tier 3 and can get it up to this one. I think I just go for defenses. I think, sadly, we're going to be facing... Yeah, I think they're likely to come in with more than one stack now. It's too bad that... yeah, maybe... Well, it's very hard to justify this at the time, but if I'd looked slightly weaker, they maybe would have made an attack and that actually would have worked out better for us, but whatever. So let's build defenses here, more or less just turtling up around Winterpie for the time being. Yeah, not ideal. Maybe I need to just be aggressive this turn and actually advance on Aesling's Conclave, but I'm just very wary of the fact that there's the army of the Frostworm, which is basically a full stack, plus there's extra troops I can see getting recruited. So we'll see how it goes playing it this way. One problem is I'm not getting experience on my troops, whereas the enemy just passively builds up experience. It's not a huge deal, but that's another reason it would have been nice to actually fight their army. Alright, so he's back. So we are... Okay, it's only a 17 units again. Military presence 5, so he has 10 or 11 units back here. So essentially in the same situation we were earlier. I am getting 4 more units from this guard shack in the garrison next turn. And he's in camp stance, not raid stance, which means he has defensive bonuses here, so I really don't think I want to launch the attack from this position. So let's do what I did last time, move to here, go into our own camp stance. Yeah, a bit of a game of chicken going on at the moment. Fortunately, these other Olaf Hilmarsson has not come up to attack us at the same time. No sign of Throgg forces either, yet. Alright, so the holding pattern continues. We'll see whether he thinks he's strong enough to launch the attack this time. Oh, that's not good. Okay, you just walk closer. Interesting. So World Walker's Confederated scaling, I think that happens pretty often. Got that technology researched. Yeah, this is scary though. Oh, that's on the other side. Oh, that's over here. Yuck.
That was my idea.
Yuck. So we have a Skaven army coming in from the east, possibly. So the problem with fighting the Skaven, which is the same thing as in the other campaigns, is that if you have your army outside a settlement, the AI Skaven has a very high chance of getting an ambush battle against you if they attack, and that would be lights out at this point, I think. So my strategy of having Throgg sit outside the settlement is just not going to cut it. On the other hand, I only have enough money for 2 more turns. before I start taking attrition. So, of course, Lamandal and the Skaven are not like really coordinating with one another here, meaning they're not gonna, you know, be able to jointly attack me or something. So one option is to have Throgg sit in Winterpire. Basically just do this. And yeah, can't go into encamp stance, so I'm still losing out on a lot of money. And this locks me into basically having to make an attack next turn. But the advantage of doing this is that one or other of these armies might make an attack against me over the end turn. I guess if they don't, I'm just in the same situation as this turn, which maybe pushes me towards wanting to fight this army. His other troops are still here. He's almost got a second full stack though. It's very tricky. I'm just not confident about launching the attack against this army.
No.
I will have to next turn though. I'm going to stay the course for one more turn. I'm going to just sit in Winterpire. Pretty close decision this time. So if he doesn't attack me, I'm basically forced into attacking him. If the Skaven come attack me, I'm okay with that. Well, I don't know what they have, so maybe I shouldn't be so optimistic, but I think we should be fine. Okay, Skaven seem to have left. Right. And we are just being raided again. Oh great, now I have flooding. Wow, that's actually a catastrophe. But campaign movement range minus 50%, jeez. It's only for 3 turns, but still. Yuck. Well, I think my hand is forced at this point. I have to make this attack, try and fight this battle. And I don't have my garrison. But yeah, I mean, otherwise he's just going to stay out here again for another turn. He doesn't have to come attack me. And he hasn't moved out of his other army yet, but they're going to be coming soon too. Alright, let's get it over with. Yeah, does not give us great odds here. As I said, it's basically all melee infantry, except for, you know, they've got the general and then the frostworm. So we're going to have to be really careful here, make the most of our missile units, concentrate on missile fire, and use my fast units to try and just disrupt their advance as much as we can. It'd be really great if we got a hill to stand on top of. Or some other defensive position like that. Not exactly. Well, I guess this counts. Sure. Okay, so I think what I want to do here... I've got 13 units of javelin guys. I'm going to group them into 3. Yeah, we want pretty deep ranks. I don't want to spread out too much here, I think.
Very well. Chaos Marauders.
Something like this. Yeah, the trolls really have to be stood on either side of Throgg to get his leadership bonus, because otherwise they're just liable to rout. So I'll have my marauders holding the flanks. They're not exactly endowed with great leadership either, but it's better than the trolls, I think. Is that even true? Yes, 36. Oh, great. Alright, and these two units are just trying to slow the enemy down. So they're going to come towards us for sure, we don't need to worry about that. Let's have these units on guard mode. Yep, that'll do. We have the speed advantage, so we can just kind of run around these units and delay their advance, just break up, you know, try to just, like, not have them hit us with one big line at once, basically. But that's about all we can do. They don't have any ranged units at all, is that right? No, none at all. Okay. Yeah, I have to watch these units because their leadership's completely garbage as well. So I don't want them getting stuck in combat. There's actually Spearman on this flank, so that's even worse. Yeah, this is what we want though, just force them to turn around. There we go, good. Disrupt this flank as much as we possibly can. How's the rest of the battle line looking? Yeah, it's good as it's going to get. Oh, Frostworm used its breath attack. Okay, that's fine. Didn't kill too much. These guys to slow down. Yeah, right now they've just got too many troops hitting us at once. This is good. Yeah, okay. Throgg, vomit attack. Okay, concentrate fire on the Frostworm. Have to get it to rout, if not die. Okay, we've pulled these guys out of position, that's good. Lord is under attack. Yep. Okay, Thrustworm is taking damage, that's good. Guys, keep running around, keep running around. Yep, we're definitely doing heavy damage to a lot of their troops with our javelins, that's really good. Thrustworm has almost broken. Yep, it has broken, great. Concentrate fire on their units. Yep, Throgg, good job. These trolls need help. Concentrate fire on one unit at a time, just break them. Okay. Yep, just get the charge bonus damaged and try and pull out. Okay, unit broke, it's just the Marauders. That's actually probably a problem though. Okay, you guys switch target. Oh, the Frostworm's back, that's not good. Alright. Need those units to come back. Yeah, lots of units routing. Should come back. Throgg himself is not routing, but that general still has quite a lot of health. Okay, really need to get rid of this Frostworm.
The gods demand it. Now is our time.
Okay, you guys need to hold. Yeah. Okay, other wolf unit ran away, that's okay.
Yes. Chaos comes. Let me kill.
Yeah, this flank's kind of collapsed. Looks like we did kill the Frostworm. That's something at least. Okay, when these units rally, okay, just keep running, just keep running. Yeah, you guys... oh, you guys are just melee troops, okay. Right, these units that are rallying, you need to get back in the fight. Turn around, turn around.
The dark gods command me.
Yep, lots of units rallying. Good.
Now is our time. Destroy them.
Throgg's about to break, unfortunately. Done a lot of damage to these units. Yeah, this flank's kind of collapsed a bit. Got good crossfire going against that unit. I'm not sure it's going to be enough though. Okay, got some trolls getting back into combat over here. Yeah, these units are wavering, that's great. Throgg's doing his best, but... Well, don't think this worked out then, I guess. Okay, shouldn't give up just yet. Still got the units over here. And these guys can hopefully concentrate fire and rout this unit. Alright, it's not over yet, it's not over yet. Might be able to get Throgg out of that combat, I'm not sure. Okay, you guys are a bit too weak, I think you just need to pull back over this way. Still have plenty of javelins on lots of our troops. We've done a lot of damage to their army. Alright, these trolls are back. Good. Alright, and we've routed the units over here. Great. So all these marauders can get back in. Throgg, just keep running. You guys just keep running. Put you on skirmish mode. Yep, kill these. You guys are gonna have to just tank for my missile units. Right, Throgg's here regenerating, which is kind of good. Let's have him come back towards the rest of the fight. If these two units just want to chase after... Yeah, they actually can't catch up with Throgg, I don't think. He's too fast for them. Okay, we've almost... their general's pretty low on health here too. Alright, really need you guys to get in here. Get Throgg in here for his leadership boost and also to tank these guys. What have we got going over this way? No, nothing good. Oh, Marauders with great weapons. Yeah, that's not a unit we want to be in melee with. Yikes. Okay. Throgg.
Pull back! Chaos Marauders! Retreat!
Oh, it's so hard to micro effectively when units are routing all over the place. Okay, let's try and take down their general, I guess. No, we're probably too weak on this flank. Alright, can we deal with those marauders there though? Maybe. Yeah, so these ones have all routed. Alright, good. Good, good, good. Yeah, the units here are routing and being chased up, that's fine. Alright, dealt with... I haven't quite read this unit. They're wavering though. Okay, they're taking a ton of damage. Come on, break. Okay, they're broken too. Great. Okay. Throgg. Yeah, now we need to try and just concentrate fire and break the remaining units. I think this is doable. Winnable. Oh, it's a good vomit. Good vomit, Throgg. Okay, you guys go after them. This is the thing with kind of an army of skirmishers, like, you can sometimes get it to work where you don't manage to hold them off the main melee attack, but because your units run faster, you can actually end up, like, kind of coming back in these scrappy battles. Yeah, we are running out of ammo, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah. Got enough here though, I think. Oh crap, there's a unit of Marauder Spearman hitting us in the rear. Okay, I did not realise that. Okay, these guys got no javelins, you go fight them. I think Throgg... I think we can win here. And then this way... Yeah, they've got these two units over here, which is a little scary. That unit's routed though, good. You need to get back in position to throw spears. Right, these guys are routed, let's kill them at Dahl. I think we've got this. Okay, all the rest of this is routed. I'm not going to run them down because when I win this battle, I'm actually going to confederate this guy and take the rest of his army. So I don't actually want to wipe their troops out. So I'll just smack Dahl upside the head. Good stuff. Smash. Got him. Alright, so I think what's happening now is it's basically that just their last units over here. And yeah, everything else is routed. I think I just withdraw this unit off the battlefield. It obviously can't fight these 2 units on its own, and they're just going to die if I don't do this. But I think we might have enough to beat their 2 Marauder units here, especially because Throgg can regenerate up to like 80% health. Okay. And there's this one unit that's not shattered. I'm not sure they'll rally though. Okay, let's get everything we have over together. Really low on javelins, that's unfortunate. Oh boy. I have to say, I did kind of expect the start of the campaign to be like this. It's just a complete mess. It's not like winning this battle suddenly makes our life easier either, but what can you do? Too bad we killed the Frostworm. It would have been cool to confederate that. So what happened was we did a good job of damaging it and making it rout, but then it rallied and it had 2 little health left, so we didn't really have the option except to kill it. Otherwise it was just gonna, well, we almost took so much damage to have the army loss penalty anyway, right? So I don't think I had much choice on that. Okay, let's speed this up. Yeah, Throgg's regeneration is going to carry us here, I think. Don't have much in the way of javelins left, but these units are going to be tired by the time they get over here. Ah, they do have like 180 of them left though. Man. Yeah, leadership's a real problem. I think this unit probably needs to stand a bit further back. Have this one come in instead. So I think I should use Throgg's Vomit attack on the weaker unit that's closer to routing. Goes to victories on our grasp. Alright, nice. Okay, just have Throgg run around a little here. Let the javelins do their job. Alright. Our unit just sort of insta-routed, that's unfortunate. This is perfect though. Get to throw all the rest of our javelins. Throgg can hold in melee for a little while. If I rout this unit, I think we're good. Okay, everyone except the unit with javelins left needs to get in here. Yeah, got him. Okay, good. Alright, yeah, so let them get away. Don't want to actually kill them off, but I do want Throgg to regenerate as much as possible. Wow, what a struggle that was. So with hindsight, I ended up fighting this battle anyway, and I should have fought it a number of turns ago. It would have made things easier, but I felt like I could get them to attack, launch the attack such that I got the garrison as reinforcements, and it just didn't pan out that way. Okay, I guess I probably don't need to regenerate Throgg that much here, because he's gonna... I don't think there's another army that will attack us over the end turn. Yeah, I mean, there's no Skaven raiding us or anything. Yeah, okay, I'll call it good. Yeah, perfect victory, probably fair. Sadly, no good units on his side survived. I mean, it was only really the Frostworm that's worth confederating. One good thing is I don't think I actually had much completely wiped out, so it can replenish. Like, the trolls are cowardly and they ran away, but they didn't actually die, and same for the wolves. I'll take that. Pyrrhic victory, but victory nonetheless. Yeah, no units lost. Good. And 2,000 in income. Really nice. Okay, and I'm going to actually take additional money here because I'm not sure... Like, this extra leadership for 5 turns is nice. I'm just not sure we're going to be doing more fighting in the next 5 turns, necessarily. And we don't need that replenishment. Yeah, go for the treasury. Okay. So, here we go. Because we defeated the leader of the tribe, we can either force them to a confederation, or we can execute them, execute Lament Dahl, or we can release him. And confederating gives me their other 2 territories, which will put us in contact with more factions, but I think if I don't confederate this first tribe, we're just going to be hemmed in, basically stuck in our 1 territory, defending on all sides, so I will go ahead and essentially force the Nagarfalings to bend the knee.
Chieftain of the tribe.
Right, and I guess I'm forced into recruiting a lord to replace Lament Dahl. That's a little unfortunate. Okay, I'll recruit this guy Lamont. I don't want to keep the second army around, but Infernal Dominance is a trait I can imagine wanting to recruit a lord with later. Misshapen's kind of interesting too, but the enemy leadership debuffs don't tend to matter unless you can really stack up quite a few of them, so yeah, let's bring in this dude.
Tribesmen, gather!
Okay. So, let's see what will happen there. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. We encounter the Alcohol and the Hellspire tribe because of, I think it's because of actually gaining sight from this port. So, have to go to war with them next time. But I think that's going to do it for this first part. A lot of struggling and hardship ahead, to put it mildly. But that went okay overall. We didn't die. We took out the first obstacle. We didn't confederate the Frostworm, but that's okay. It's a solid unit. It's high upkeep, and it's frankly not as good as lots of the other dragon type monsters anyway. So that's fine. So next time I'll figure out. I think I'll just disband this army, and I'll have a look at what I've inherited. Oh my goodness! Look at this garbage. Alright. Yeah, that'll do it for part 1. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll be back for the next one.